Hello, I'm Jennifer with Jennifer Decorates. Today's video is going to be all about how my husband and I created an awesome fireplace makeover. Now, we moved into our new house 3 weeks ago, and one of the very first projects we did, because we had to have TV, was to give this fireplace a makeover. The fireplace is located in the corner of the living room, so although I don't particularly like a TV above the fireplace because of furniture placement, that's just where it had to go. So let me show you a before picture of what this fireplace looks like. So you can see that it's just a plain red brick and the mantle is seriously dented. So the first thing I did was to paint a first coat of paint over the brick because I wanted it to be white. If you choose paint that has paint and primer mixed in it, it will save you a lot of time. So I painted the first coat and I let it dry. Now, I wanted to create a look of an aged brick, so I wanted some dimension to it. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I love Venetian plaster, and that's what I used. And what I did was I took a putty knife and I added some Venetian plaster in random spots on the brick. You're creating the look of old brick, you're not trying to get perfect. So after I did it all over, if you let Venetian plaster dry for about 5 to 8 minutes, it just starts to harden. It doesn't completely dry, but it just starts to harden. And the cool thing is, if you go back over those spots where you added the Venetian plaster on the brick, and you pull your putty knife kind of across it, what it does is, since it's kind of starting to harden a little bit, it tugs and pulls, and it becomes really rough instead of just a smooth look. That's how you get that aged look. So go back over every spot where you added the Venetian plaster, and then you're done. Let it dry. It's really best to let it dry overnight. So then I added the second coat of paint, and I really just used a white paint. I typically don't pick a stark white. I go just a little bit of a softer white. So I did that second coat and I let it dry. And then it was Scott's turn. So the mantle that was up here before was hung on a 2x4, and they used concrete anchors to anchor into the brick. We wanted to lower the mantle a little bit because we were putting the TV above it, and I also wanted a larger mantle. So Scott did the same thing. He just used a 2x6 and hung it a little bit lower, and the awesome thing was, because our mantle was a little bit bigger, we were able to hide those original holes. Now, I wanted, again, an old rough look for the mantle, so he purchased cedar 1x8 at the home improvement store. There's a smooth side and there's kind of a rough side. So I had to put the rough side on the outside. He built this, I stained it, and then I did a lot of hunting. I was very particular on the corbels I wanted to use. I didn't want them too traditional or too big. I just wanted them to add the right detail. And I'll put a link to that corbel because it did take me a long time to find it. But I think they turned out perfect. So he installed those under the mantle. And the last thing we did was to get electricity to be able to hang the TV. We were very lucky because this is a ventless gas fireplace. So basically it's hollow behind the brick. So he went up to the attic and dropped the electrical wire down, drilled a hole with a masonry bit. I was down here, we both had our phones on speaker. I'm down here with a coat hanger in that little hole trying to feed out that electrical wire. It was kind of comical. Then it got not comical, but we had success. I found it and pulled it through. And then he just had to install an outlet and then mount the TV. So this turned out to be a success. I added just some simple greenery on each side of the TV to just kind of flank it, and that was it. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell below because that notifies you when we have a new video out, because next week I am just over the moon to show you the exterior of the house and the renovations that we did. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.